Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing a full furniture makeover, but with a caveat. We're going to fix something first. So I recently picked up a piece off of Facebook Marketplace. It's great condition, solid maple, but there's a problem. Let's go on over and take a look. So here's our piece that we're going to be working on today, and you might look at it at a glance and say, looks great. What's wrong with it? It's ready to go. Actually, let me show you. So as we move in closer, there's two problems. This right here is from having something hot set on it and it burned. This is our bigger problem. This is splitting, so we're gonna have to fix that. So I'm gonna show you that we can salvage both of these problems, and we're gonna give this piece of furniture a beautiful makeover. This is our product that we're gonna use to fix it. Now there are several different types of Bondos on the market. This is the one I recommend for wood furniture. Don't use the automotive Bondo. This wood filler Bondo here is paintable, stainable, it is permanent, and it's non-shrinking. This is what you want to use for wood furniture. I'm going to show you how we mix it up and put it on the piece. Never used Bondo before. It does have two different products. You've got your wood filler and your cream hardener. Your cream hardener is key. That's what's going to make this permanent. It's going to make it hard as nails as soon as it dries. So let's show you how to mix it up and get it on. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's very stinky. Do not do this indoors, and definitely wear some sort of a mask or respirator when working with this. So when you're mixing up your Bondo, you want to work in smaller portions because it does dry super fast. So I'm just going to get a little bit going here. You add a little bit of the cream hardener. There's no magic formula here. Mix it all up. It will actually turn color, and you know it's all well mixed at that point. You can use a putty knife to go ahead and apply, or in this case, I'm just using a disposable little wooden stick, which does the trick, and then I can throw it out. You want to go ahead and press pretty firm so that you make sure you get all the Bondo in your repair. Okay, so Bondo is on, it's drying, usually about 15 minutes, but that may depend on your climate, so you may need to wait a little longer depending on that. But in about 15 minutes or so, we're ready to sand. That's the joy of using this product. First of all, it's stronger than wood putty and it dries faster, so we can get to work quicker. Now you might ask, is that enough to help it from not splitting? So I looked underneath to see if the split had gone all the way down. Did I need to brace it underneath the dresser top? No. Fortunately, on this one, I don't have to. Sometimes that could be the case. If the split has gone all the way down through the entire top and you can see it from the underside, you may need to brace that as well. But in this case, we got lucky. Okay, one thing I want to address, I said earlier when I was talking about this particular wood filler Bondo, is I said it was stainable, which it is. But that doesn't sometimes mean that you're not going to see your Bondo repair underneath that stain. Stain is sheer, so obviously it doesn't have the same opaqueness and coverage effect that a paint would. But depending on how small or how big your repair is going to be what determines whether or not it's going to alter whether you stain or whether you paint. Honestly, at this point, I don't know for this. I would love to stain this as it's solid maple. But if we see that Bondo repair and the line is too thick and it stands out like a sore thumb, we're not going to do that. We'll probably do a different technique or paint it altogether. Have a lot of sanding to still do, but I wanted just to zoom in and show you how it filled in really nicely. But here's the problem. If I want to stain this, we're green. And that's the only thing I don't care for about this wood filler putty product is it dries down green. The regular automotive dries down gray. There's a couple of different ones out there on the market and they all dry down a color. So I think we'll end up doing a different technique on the top of this that will hide that green, but still give us a beautiful look. Here's our piece, totally sanded. It looks absolutely gorgeous. That is just a beautiful, solid maple wood top. Here is our repair here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. It's not bad. So I think I'm gonna be able to camouflage that so that we can still showcase this beautiful wood grain. And piece is all ready to go. Well, almost. Now you might wonder, what in the world did you do? I did spot prime it because I had to sand down to bare wood in certain areas, and you definitely want to put a primer underneath your paint when doing that to smooth out and make sure you have a nice, even, consistent finish. So there was hardware obviously that's been on here as old as the dresser is, and it made some indentations. I have found the best way to get rid of those is just merely sand them down. I have tried the process before of filling it with wood filler and then sanding, but you just don't get that ultimate smooth finish. So this is the best way. Now you might notice there is a missing drawer. I had a little loose dovetail joint, and so I went ahead and it's being glued and clamped right. So I'm working a little backwards this time. Normally I don't sand the top until after I've painted, but I really wanted to work on that repair and show you that repair first. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this prepped to spray the body, which means I've gotta cover this freshly sanded top. We don't wanna get any paint on it. After we're done, then we'll peel off that, and I'll show you what I'm gonna use. It's a great product to have in your shop, by the way. And then we can go ahead and take care of our top. The reason I don't wanna do the top first is then I'm gonna have to wait to go ahead and paint because I don't wanna tape anything off fresh that I've just applied to the top. This is called 3M Painter's Plastic, and I'll link it in the show notes for you. All right, so we're all done and taped up, and don't forget you need to tape to the back side of your piece. I'm spraying, obviously that's got air and it's gonna blow that plastic up if I don't have it taped down. I'll show you in just a minute. I did a poll over on my Instagram account that asked for help with vote on the color. I put up 4 colors and these 2 tied. So I don't know which one I feel like doing. This is called Mountain Mist, and it is a pretty light, airy gray, and then there's Stargazer, this gorgeous navy. I don't know which one I feel like doing. This piece is for sale. These I feel like in my area are both very popular colors, but which one am I gonna do? Here's our piece with one coat. It is obviously still wet in certain spots, still drying. We're gonna give it a little bit more time than I normally do. Cooler climates do require a longer time for dry time. So we'll wait a couple of hours, come back and do this. Okay, so we're back. And it's day 2. The piece is all painted and ready to go, but it's really not. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show you right there. Drawer number 3, this is why you don't paint in the evening hours. I didn't have any extra light. I was pretty much finished with my piece yesterday afternoon. I took a break and thought I'll come back and finish it off in the evening, and I completely missed I have a dry spot. So we're gonna have to fix that, and then I'll move on to the top. So on the top, what I think I'm going to do, instead of using a stain, I think I'm gonna do a tan wash. So I'm gonna get my paint mixed up, show you how that goes, and we'll get the top done. Okay, so for your tan or beige wash, you're obviously going to pick a color that is tan or beige. One of the colors that I really like to use is Beaver Beige by Lily Moon Paint. I've already poured it out. Now, as far as what you want the consistency to be like, there's no real science to this, honestly. I usually just kind of do either equal parts water to paint or thereabout. It's not, like I said, there's no science to this. You can make it more opaque by obviously adding more paint, less water, or you can make it more of a wash by adding more water, less paint. It's really a preference, and sometimes you don't even know until, and we're improvising here, by the way, because I'm out of mixing cups and they haven't been delivered yet. So I'm using Tupperware. But anyway, sometimes you won't even know until you get it on the piece, and you can always, alter after the fact. So this came out absolutely beautiful, and I'm really happy with it up until the point where you see the repair. So it's not that bad, but it's bad when you're getting close. Cannot have a piece go out the door like that. So I'm gonna have to come up with a different solution.
So as much as I loved that tan wash, the finish was beautiful, but it just wasn't enough to cover that Bondo repair. I wasn't happy with it when you got in close. So I went ahead and grabbed my Lily Moon gel stains in Natural Cork, Old Fashioned, and Moonshine, and I'm going to blend them right on top. They have really great coverage, they're water based, and you can put it right over the paint. If you want to see this look in more detail, I absolutely have more videos that showcase this look and going through all the steps. So check out my channel for more detailed videos on the Lily Moon gel stains.
Here is the final look for the top. I'm super happy with the way it came out. You cannot see at all the issue. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for being subscribers. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you go hit that subscription button as well as the post notification bell so you know when all of my latest videos are released. If you have any positive comments or questions, make sure you leave them down below. I love engaging with you all, and I'll always answer your questions. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next video.